Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in USL League One. We'll get you ready for the weekend that will be, for the week that will be over the next 7 days after we let you know what happened in the last 7 days. Midweek weekend for a couple of sides as they try to even up the gaps in matches played for the sprint in August and September. We'll take you back to Wednesday. South Georgia Torment, a big 3 points on the road. 2 games, quick succession on the road, starting off at Breeze Stevens, a 4-1 win over Forward Madison. So great work for Ian Cameron and their bunch. Mateus Cassini scores. Keziah Sterling has a brace within 7 minutes of the second half. And then Curry scores in the 69th minute. That's nice. South Georgia Tormenta beats Forward Madison in front of just over 4,000 by the final of 4-1. North Carolina FC shuts out Hailstorm as Hailstorm try to continue to get caught up with matches played with their Open Cup run plus early weather. That one was at Wake Med. North Carolina gets the win 2-1. Road trip continued. Didn't get any better for Hailstorm. Saturday, they were the lead game at American Legion Memorial. They lose to Charlotte Independence by the score of 4-1. And in that one, it was a goal in the 10th minute on a penalty. Then again in the 29th, it was 2-0 at the break. Then Northern Colorado gets a goal back in the 49th. But then 2 goals in 5 minutes, and it was all over. 4-1 your final, just crowd just over 2,000 at American Legion Memorial. Match of the week, Lex SC, Richmond Kickers. And it would take a little while for this one to be figured out as to the back and forth that happened early. A lot of scoring early and a lot of tension late. In front of just over 2,100 at Toyota Stadium. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at USL League One, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Look to boost their form tonight from Georgetown. Lamini kicks off, and we are underway from Georgetown, Kentucky, Lexington, and Richmond. We know what this duo could do on the ball for Lexington. Diouf for Robertson, has options, low cross, just evades the footsteps of Brown. Early stages of this contest between Lexington and Richmond. Spoke a lot about what that victory last weekend meant to Lexington. The biggest victory in club history. First time they had won by multiple goals all season. For Richmond, it was the inverse. A lot of old issues coming back to bite them in the second half. Vinyals drives forward, and he tucks it in the bottom right. One of the top creative players on this kicker's side gives the visitors a lead against the grain of play. Second goal of the year, and it comes out of nothing. Just sashaying through traffic, a low driver, and a male knight may feel he could do a little better with that one. Great footwork from Vinyals, Knight late to it. And evades everyone to slide into the bottom right. Draws Fitzgerald out, and the referee points to the spot. One of the top penalty takers in all of USL League One history. Smart finishes. 4 for 4 from the spot for Lexington's prize man from 12 yards. And the hosts level immediately after conceding. Jamaican is unflappable from 12 yards, strokes it into the right side netting, and immediately puts Lexington back on a level playing field. Tell you what, Nico Brown is certainly taking his knocks early on. Terzaghi, low driver, and Richmond with their first corner of the night. Vinyals set to take this free kick. Good shot, and it finds its way into the back of the net. What a hit from Neil Vinyals, and he's got a brace. Great whip to this. No chance for Amal Knight into the top right corner. Neil Vinyals with a bit of brilliance. And Richmond back in front. Taken short for Muhammad. Machel. Enticing delivery, and Diouf! What a stop by Fitzgerald! Great routine off the training ground, and it pings over to Diouf in space. And surely you thought he'd put that away. Unable to find a way through. Sierakowski. Terzaghi working on Murillo. Richmond tightening the screws. Vinyals for a hat trick and a great stop by Knight. How about this from Vinyals? Simple 1-2 with Sierakowski. Nobody closes him down and forces Knight into a pretty impressive save at his near stick. Richmond driving forward. Cuts inside. The Richmond Kickers have done a terrific job locking down shop as they look to avoid tumbling further down the table. This is a side that spent the bulk of the year in the top 6. These last couple weekends, it's been unfamiliar territory for Kickers faithful, especially since the arrival of Darren Sawatsky, who's successfully guided his side to the postseason with regularity. Here's Balogun's cross, and it's an own goal from Richmond. Catastrophic from the Richmond back line, and Lexington is level. Are happy. They won't complain how it falls in the back of the net. You see Balogun race to the byline, low cross, and it's just not properly dealt with by Simon Fitch, who logs a very unfortunate own goal as he looked to get out of the way there. Muhammad's cross, and Murillo narrowly misses the near post. Former Madison man nearly equalized against his former rivals. Here's Diouf. Ushered along to Robertson. Lexington looking to break down this Richmond back line. Here's Balogun. Twists and turns, fires to the near post, and a good stop by Fitzgerald. Here's Machel's in-swinger. Finds its way to Diouf. This is a good delivery for Machel. Diouf just can't steer it. Got some good twist to it. And Robertson boots out of trouble. Whistle sounds, and that'll do it from Toyota Stadium. A hard-earned point for both teams as Sam Stockley's side.
Honors even, 2-2 final at Toyota, and it would be a point each for Richmond and Lex SC. Also on the board, North Carolina FC beat Red Wolves on the road at CHI Memorial by the final of 2-1. Forward Madison got 1 point in the weekend, drawing Greenville Triumph at Breeze Stevens, 1-1 in that one. South Georgia Tormenta's road trip continued at Warner Park in Papillon, Nebraska. 5-goal thriller against Union Omaha, and it would end up with the home side getting the one-goal win. J.P. Sears ended up scoring a penalty in the 31st. Dos Santos would get a goal in the 50th. Then you would have Okoto scoring in the 56th, Akale scoring in the 77th to draw it at 2, and then Alexi Suahi scoring at 90+2 to get the win for Union Omaha. The Murder Owls, with just over 3,500 at Warner Park, get the win in full points. One Knox, it was their turn to travel out to Fresno State Soccer Stadium to take on Central Valley Fuego. One Knox actually would travel and get the win in front of just over 1,100 on the campus of Fresno State University. And for a while, Fresno State Central Valley would have to play the final 40 minutes with one man down, and then it would end up with a second yellow, and it would be 10-on-10, believe it or not, for the final 8+ minutes, and that would be when the goal was scored for one Knox. Castro from the spot at 90+2. Get your penalty, get your full points, and that's where you are with those matchups in the week that was. So that means let's take a peek at the standings and let you know what's going on in a USL Championship. Hailstorm at 35 points. They've played 18 matches. Same with North Carolina FC, and they are at 34. Charlotte Independence has played 3 more matches than both of those clubs, and they're at 33 points forward. Madison is at 30 points. Greenville's at 29, and Union Omaha is at 28. Richmond Kickers are at 26. One Knox broke a 4-game losing streak, and they are at 25. South Georgia Tormenta is at 24. So basically 5 teams separated by 5 points to determine what would be the final 2 playoff spots heading into the postseason if things stopped today. Lex SC at 18 points after 19 matches. Central Valley had that 2-game win streak snapped with the 1-0 loss to One Knox. And Chattanooga is also at 16 points, but they are last. They have played 1 more match. They have 1 less win, and they are behind in goal difference. 4-11-4, minus 17 on goal difference and 16 points. So Chattanooga Red Wolves right now are at the bottom of the table in USL League One. All the news and notes that we have, it is, remember, Spokane Velocity. They've officially unveiled their branding ahead of their inaugural 2024 season. And what you can do if you want to follow along with everything going on with Spokane Velocity, how you follow, you go to SpokaneVelocityFC.com. That's the new website. You can follow along on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. The future, one of the franchises now is up and running at SpokaneVelocityFC.com. You can also be a part of the Fan Zone in USL League One. Go to USLLeagueONE.com and be a part of everything that is going on right now in USL League One. Team of the Week for Week 19. And it is led by Leo Castro, the Colombian goal scorer named Player of the Week. 8th brace in his 15-year career. The 34-year-old, a former CAF Champions League winner and longtime Kaiser Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns star. It's in his first year in Greenville, already the second oldest goal scorer in League One history. And he has 4 goals in his last 5 matches to help Greenville to a 4-1-0 record, recording that first brace in a Triumph shirt in the Peach State Derby against South Georgia Tormenta back last Saturday. It was a ball from Noah Pilato, and that started everything up and running for Team of the Week and Player of the Week for Week 19, once again in USL League One. The rest of the roster, Amal Knight in Lexington is your keeper. Jordan Chavez in Central Valley. Clay Dimmick in Charlotte. Brandon Fricke in Greenville. Lucky Opara for Hailstorm as your back 4. Billy King for Hailstorm, part of the midfield, along with Tresor Mbuyu in Charlotte. Tariq Muhammad for Lex SC. Then your front 3, Castro, Atez Diouf from Lex SC, and Siobhan Marsh for Chattanooga Red Wolves for his work in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. Bench for Week 19. Jared Mazzola for Greenville. Danny Fernandez for One Knox. Avion Flanagan for Charlotte. Mateus Cassini for Tormenta. Omar Cease for Charlotte. Miguel Ibarra for Charlotte. And Jimmy Villalobos for One Knox. And so the power rankings as we go here, heading into week number 20, this is how it was heading into last week. Hailstorm and Forward Madison were 1 and 2. North Carolina, Greenville 3 and 4. Charlotte up 2-5. Richmond down 1. Omaha down 1. South Georgia Tormenta stayed at 8. Lex SC up 3 before the loss. This past week, One Knox down 1-10. Central Valley stayed at 11. Chattanooga stayed at number 12 at their 4-10-4 mark so far this season. Once again, don't forget, be a part of the conversation with USL League One on their social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram. And you can also get the latest scores and follow along and be a part of what's going on every single week at USLLeagueONE.com. And you can get everything all squared away with all the information that you need to know when it comes to USL League One. USL League One Fans' Choice Goal of the Week, 4 best scorers from 27 goals that were scored. You can vote until Thursday at 12:30 Eastern Time. It's either Luis Perez for North Carolina against Hailstorm, Neil Vigneaults for his free kick for Richmond against Lex that you heard in the highlights, Avion Flanagan for Charlotte against Hailstorm, or Alexi Suahi at 90+2 for the game winner in Omaha and Tormenta. You can once again go to USLLeagueONE.com and vote for choice goal of the week for week number 20, Perez, Vigneaults, Flanagan, and Alexi Suahi. That is how everything has laid out there with goal of the week. Note out of Chattanooga, and if you are one for social media and following along there, send your best to the Red Wolves, if you would. Jimmy Weekly is going through currently a medical issue, and he has had to step away from the touchline for a little bit. And here's how the team described it. And it is recent significant health situation. He's on a medical leave of absence, recovering, not releasing any additional information at the time about Weekly's health. For anyone that would like to wish Coach Weekly a speedy recovery, you could submit a video or a written message to socials, SOCIALS, at redwolves-sc.com, socials at redwolves-sc.com. Chattanooga is bringing in Utah Red Wolves USL League 2 head coach Scott McKenzie to assume the head coaching position while Weekly recovers. McKenzie's led the Utah Red Wolves to 3 consecutive USL League 2 Mountain Division titles since taking charge of the club, holds a USSF A license and a UEFA B license. So well wishes to Coach Jimmy Weekly in Chattanooga, and it is socials at redwolves-sc.com to send your best to Jimmy Weekly and to the Red Wolves community. That is your look at everything that's going on in USL League One. If you are in market for any of the matches coming up, and there are matches coming up to start the activity here in the month of August, and it is one match on Wednesday, Papillon, Nebraska, Union Omaha trying to catch up. They host Lex SC. Then on Saturday, it is Carolina's Derby, Greenville hosting Charlotte, Paladin Stadium. City Stadium, 7 o'clock, Richmond Forward Madison. 7:30 in Statesboro, Tormenta hosting North Carolina FC. 8 o'clock on the quick turn, Union Omaha hosting 1 Knox. 9 o'clock, Future Legends, Hailstorm hosting Lex SC. So Lex SC goes from Omaha out to Hailstorm and Future Legends before returning home. Then at 10:30, your late game, Chattanooga Red Wolves and Central Valley Fuego. That is how it looks for USL League One. If you are in any of those markets and you can catch action, please do. You get to see one of the tightest divisions, top to bottom, in the entire U.S. soccer pyramid. It's going to be tight all the way down to the finish, so keep an eye on it as it continues to grow. The one midweek match does have current juice boxes. Union Omaha's a -135. Your draw is a +268, and Lex SC is a +321. So if you're in market and can catch, please do. You get to see quality teams and quality towns all across the board. If you're in market and can't, follow along on your local providers. If you are out of market and can't, follow along on the social media and the local providers for your club that you're following, or go to ESPN Plus. Everything available for you there on USL League One matches all season long, all the way through to the postseason. For everybody here at SDH, enjoy the matches in USL League One. Play it safe, everybody. I'm just John. We'll see you next time.
There can be only one